Hi, I am Gail Damiano. I am a motivational speaker, a high performance intuitive coach, sober mom boss, and the founder of Legal Ease Wellness. This week, I'm doing a short interview series with some of my favorite people in the legal world who are out there doing their thing, promoting wellness in their own wonderful way. Today, we have with us Randy Kleinman, and I'm going to just turn it right over to him and just start the interview because I'm super excited to hear what he's up to. Hi, Randy. Thanks for being here.
Good morning, Gail. Thanks for having me. I'm honored and touched that I made the cut of your favorite attorneys.
You're my favorite. So, on that note, what is your favorite way to introduce yourself to people?
Well, now my favorite way is that I am the author of A Logical Approach to Spirituality, Shattering the Religious Paradigm and Finding Your Inner Truth. And I guess I'm also an attorney.
Yeah. Guess I'm also an attorney. Great. And I do want to put this little disclaimer in for us, which we already know. And for everyone watching and listening, we do have some lovely landscapers outside the window. So that's my background music today. So enjoy. So I don't really have a ton of questions, which makes it more fun because I think we can open it up a little bit and flesh it out. But the fact that I saw that I haven't heard from you in a while, and then I saw you post about this book that's going to be, I've already pre-ordered it, I think, I did order it, that it's going to, yeah, I found it on Amazon, that it's going to be coming out. And we talked, years ago about all of this kind of stuff. And you had back then this like nugget of an idea of a book or something. And then here we are. So how exciting is it for you? This is a little off topic of my questions, but how exciting is it for you to finally see this thing coming to fruition?
It's incredible. Thank you for your support.
Yeah.
We definitely spoke about this years ago, and it was like a little seedling of an idea.
Yeah.
And over time, it's just grown and grown. And, it does play into your questions a little because that's how it started. I didn't really know what I was doing. I've always been fascinated by spirituality and this subject, but I've been pretty guarded about it and very private. And you and I had spoken. I don't remember how it came up, but I know that you're like-minded and clearly with what you do.
Mm-hmm.
So it started to pour out of me, and I think this part of doing this is really my way of being my authentic self and just letting myself be who I need to be.
Yeah, that's huge. And yeah, you're right. I do have a question in here for you that I'm just going to skip ahead and I'll come back. But my question says you're about to be a bona fide published author, but you're published. The book's ready. You're published, right? So congratulations. Yay. Everybody who's watching, give him a big congratulations and buy his book. And I really want to know a little bit more, if you could, about that part of your journey where the idea was really subconscious, and how it really inspired you to write this book. Because again, it was a seedling, and then you're on this journey. But excuse me, I just want to hear a little bit more about how it kind of came about, and when you found yourself writing. Was it from an outside push, or was it something that you just internally had to express?
So many layers to that question, and it's such a good one, and one I haven't really had to reconcile until I have to do these interviews. Like I said, I've always been fascinated with spirituality, and for the past 20 years, I've really been doing a ton of research on it. I've always had a problem with the religious hierarchies and all of just religion in general, but I've always known deep down, I'm like, really, I'm spiritual. I believe in a higher power, and I believe in a lot of different things. So, I think it really all started when I sat back and reflected on it. I was in a very, very toxic relationship, a really negative relationship. And I think that's something, unfortunately, a lot of people can relate to.
I'm sure there's a lot of heads nodding that are watching this. Yeah.
Sure, definitely. And I think, for me, when I finally put my foot down and said, I have to get out of this. What am I doing? I'm not trapped. We're never trapped. It doesn't matter how deeply entrenched you think you are. And literally, Gail, the next day, a day later, it was this inpouring of creativity just started pouring through me.
Oh, I just got goosebumps. I love that. Yeah.
Getting the chills talking about it because I've never
Mhm.
in my life experienced anything like it. And I've always loved writing, and I've always been a fairly good writer. So I just started writing these ideas down, and I had no real idea of what I was doing with it.
Mhm.
And at first I thought, well, maybe a blog, and this was,
Oh yeah, we did talk about a blog briefly. I remember now, but yeah,
yeah, it
right,
started out, okay, maybe a blog or something. I don't know what the heck's a
right.
blog really. And then, as the ideas kept coming in and coming in, it became more structured. And I thought, well, I can write a book. And I have to, honestly, 20, so many times throughout the process, I thought, I'm crazy. Who cares what I have to say? I'm really, who am I?
Familiar,
I'm not really anybody.
familiar. Yep,
Right?
very familiar.
I guess it's that, and this is with so many people, it's that imposter syndrome, perhaps.
Yeah, yeah. I have
And
friends trying to rename it to something else because they're sick of hearing
I
imposter
think we
syndrome.
should. I think we should. I think we have to revisit this idea because it's
Yeah.
such a negative connotation. It's just insecurity. But that's the whole point of my book is that I am not this enlightened spiritual guru. Now I'm very knowledgeable about spiritual topics, but I am not preaching from some pedestal. I'm providing a logical perspective,
Mm-hmm.
logical approach to these ideas that so over the years as well, I'm writing this stuff down, and the more people I talk to, the more I realize that people are starting to awaken. There's something
Mm-hmm.
happening, and people are
Yeah.
starting to reject the religious, um, structure that's existed for millennia. So, hence the shattering the religious paradigm, and they're opening the idea to this other something else. So in our conversations, sometimes I'll introduce ideas they've never heard of.
Mm-hmm.
Something called the law of one, for example, which you may be familiar with.
I'm familiar. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and but most people aren't.
No,
So
you're right.
right, but it's such an important fundamental thing, right?
It's very interesting. Yes, yes,
It
yes.
is, and it's a little esoteric. So I still am, and I'm still trying to overcome this, guarded, shy,
Mm-hmm.
call it what you will thing, but it's doing things like this. And in part, a lot of what I say in my book too, it's encouraging people to be your authentic self, live your truth. And it would be very hypocritical for me to say that to other people and to not put myself out there.
Mm,
And I
that's big. Yeah.
it's,
That's a
it's
really big part of it. It's about, in my experience, I walk my talk. So, when I coach people, I'm coming from a place of been there, done that, exceeded all expectations and broke through barriers and made things happen anyway. And back when I was, drinking heavily, I had a 20-year alcohol addiction that I kicked about over 4 years ago now. And before I quit drinking, I was trying to still coach people, and I was up against a wall. And I realized, I'm not 100% there. I can't coach people on the proper way to, be healthy and all whatever I was trying to coach them on. And I have this hidden addiction. I was really keeping it under wraps as much as I could, most of the time. And it wasn't until I got clear on that and said, I've got to be 100% authentic with who I am so I can show up in the highest way for everybody that I serve. Because I mean, I'm in the service industry in every way. I'm here to serve. So, and, I can't show up half-ass and expect people to give me the 100%, so exactly same thing that you're talking about. You can't show up or even write about it if it's inauthentic and just like preach from the pulpit, pardon the expression, but tell people what to do instead of showing them, right?
totally. And my guess is when you quit drinking, when you started really embodying what you were teaching, did your business just explode? It had to have. It just,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, what happened is, I was still working my full-time job in legal, at first before I quit. After, I was 13 years in that industry. So, at one point I had to say, it's either now that I that I try my soul's journey this way, or I just keep working away and retire in 20 years or whatever the thing is, So I said, I've got to at least give this a try. And right before I actually did it, a couple months before I finally, put in my resignation and did the thing, I started getting referrals left and right, left and right, left and right. I'm like, where are these coming from? It was like the sign that I needed. I'm like, okay, it's clear this this choice of mine is the right choice, and I'm going to do it. Scary as hell, I'm not going to lie, and it didn't continue left and right, left and right. That would have been great, without stopping. But that's part of being in your own business. It's like this, so you just keep going until it, gets a higher and higher, referral rate. And then there you are, golden. But yeah, that was my sign. It was literally it seemed out of nowhere. I got a whole bunch of referrals, and I said, okay, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. So here I go.
It's amazing. And that's the whole point, right? That's the whole point. It's when you take these, you follow your intuition, and you take these what seem like risks, and you just dive in, and then suddenly you realize that how could you ever have not done that? It
right.
It all makes sense, right?
I know now in hindsight, if I wouldn't have done it, I wouldn't have never have or it might have taken me a lot longer. Almost immediately I got pregnant. And I had been trying to get pregnant for 8 years. And there's a whole connection between my tie to my purpose, clearing, my confidence, taking the path that's meant for me, all these things, clearing up, stress relieving, all these things, lining up with this beautiful baby boy that I currently have. It's just really all miracles all the way around. So yeah, it's we're getting off topic. No, maybe not. It's all.
I don't think we are. I think that's right on topic.
It's all together. So, most of the people that are watching this are in the legal industry, probably, my LinkedIn people, mostly legal. And, this is well-being in law week. So I'm so glad that you're doing this interview with me. And I'm really happy to be your first interview for your book. I think that a lot of lawyers can relate to the practical approach. And there's a lot of people who are in the shadows, we'll say, that are thinking these thoughts, but haven't really spoken them out loud. So by you having a book they can kind of discreetly have and read and open their mind and then be more confident to have conversations like this, kick ass. I'm like so excited to see how this movement you're starting goes. I think it's going to be great.
Thank you. I hope it's a movement. That's the point too. I really just want to encourage discourse about spirituality. I feel like so many of the conversations we have are just so superficial. I never cared about sports. I still don't. You hear people talking about, and I'm like, who cares, right? Pop culture, none of it matters. But
right.
It's these philosophical conversations like you and I are having right now that we can just go on and on for hours. Right?
I just spent the time. I'm like, oh man, I got to reel this in. I'm going to sit here and talk to you for an hour and a half. Okay.
Oh, all right. Yeah, I don't know how long we've been going, but it's
close. I'm trying to keep these, short and sweet. But
all right, let's get back on topic then.
Let's get back on topic. We'll do more of these. I feel like there's going to be more. Sure. So, what was my next question? Oh, so your best kept secret. What is your best kept secret for managing your own well-being now and moving into the future?
It is balance and dedication. And by that, I mean, I need a way I have a very regimented routine, and every day I need a way to release my stress, feel healthy. So I wake up at 5 a.m. every day, and I meditate, and then I work out. I need to get a sweat in every day to feel normal. So that helps keep me balanced. I think in just having and being regimented in all my other aspects of life as well. I think that really is my secret.
Oh yeah. I've done a number of these. I'm doing 5 of these interviews this week, and exercise is always at the top of the list. So I'm in the right company. This is definitely the thing. Yeah. So on the heels of all of this, there's going to be people who are watching this that are going to want to contact you and definitely buy your book. And I will provide links when I am posting this video. I'll provide links for them, but just those who are listening and watching, where can they find you if they want to reach out to you, if they have questions about your journey, your book? Where would they find you?
Absolutely. You can find me on LinkedIn. I don't really do any other social media. It's just not my thing. You can email me and we'll link up to that. And I believe now the webpage is running. It's randykleinman.com. So very, very simple.
That's awesome.
Very simple. Great. Thank you. And the book it got pushed back, the release date. So we're looking at June 1st. So we have some time.
Great. Good. So more time to promote. Excellent.
Absolutely.
So we do have a couple of minutes left. I want to just throw this in your court, the ball in your court, and ask you, what do you want to talk about?
I want to go back to talking about your business and how it relates to what I'm doing, because I think it's just so fascinating. And it's so awesome how I think we've come, you and I have just like full circle with
Oh yeah.
we started out, it was a legal relationship, well, legal, business relationship on the legal
Right.
end. And now it's come to this is our passion,
Oh,
right? So here we are. And we're
yeah.
finally starting to live our own version of the truth.
Yeah, it's really amazing what starts to show up when you start living that way. And I gotta say, I've that whole imposter syndrome that you talked about, right? We all have it, all solopreneurs, people that are trying to climb any kind of ladder or build something new, from the depths of their soul or what they call their mind, something that they think of like a book, and then they don't know where it's going to go until they see that it's a book or a podcast or a business or whatever the thing is. Once you start receiving just random messages from people who are inspired by what you're doing, people who just I get these little notes on social media. I've gotten emails saying, keep shining your light, do what you're doing. I love your I did recently a webinar for, I was like 1,100 paralegals or something like that in Florida, and I did a very condensed version of a program that I put together called 6 Habits that I created after I got sober, because I said, okay, I've got to focus on what's working for me, because I didn't do a 12-step. I did my own thing. And I implemented these new habits in my life. So I said, okay, well, let me like kind of outline this and see what this is. Maybe I can teach it to other people. So that's what I'm doing. I made a program called 6 Habits. And so it's a 6-week program. So we do one habit each week. And just to give you an idea, one of the habits is a morning ritual. So we go, what's your morning ritual? So everybody in the group has to, oh God, come up with a morning ritual. Well, I have one for them. I give them, it's a workout and a meditation in a 30-minute package that is challenging and excellent. So once I did I did a 1 hour like quick take on what those 6 habits are for all these paralegals. And there were attorneys in there too. I did it as a CLE. And I got over 100 responses saying, oh my God, this is great. Keep doing what you're doing. I was just like, I'm getting goosebumps right now. I was just like, okay, I'm doing something right. So this is really, really good. I'm so excited.
That's not an affirmation. I don't know what it is. You shattered the recovery paradigm.
Yeah.
You shattered. It's not a one. I think recovery, spirituality, nothing is a one size fits all, and that's part of the problem, right? Everyone thinks they have to fit to this mold, but they don't. And you created this 12 steps or these 12 things that worked for you.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's so attainable for people.
Right. Yeah. And I didn't set out to do it as do this to get sober. But for me, now I was sober. I'm like, what do I do with my hands? What do I do with my time? What do I do with my brain? I've got to refocus. It was more of like retraining my all the neural pathways in my brain, because they're like those ruts down the line of like, I'm worthless. Nobody cares. I'm just going to go. I would sit in dark bars by myself every day. And, drink alone. I didn't care. It was pretty bad. I was hiding bottles and all kinds of things. But, those patterns didn't get there by accident. They were built over many, many, many years. And so I had to create some kind of a jolting system that would like shake me up. Sure. And that's what it is. So anyway, so that's my little plug. And actually, to plug it again even more, I actually have and I'm doing this in every interview, so sorry everybody who's watching all of these interviews, but I actually have a group program. I'm running a 6 Habits program starting May 10th, so that's next Monday. If you're interested, send me a message. I'll send you the link, or you can just scroll through any of my social media and you'll find the links. I'm posting all the time, so that's that. But I am so excited to have this conversation with you. It's been a little longer than 15 minutes, but I knew that was going to happen. There's so much in this. We might have to schedule a second one, Randy. I think we might. So once your book is launched, maybe we'll do a second series and I'll figure something out, some reason why.
I'd love to. Let's do it.
I'll do a lawyer author series or whatever. I don't know. I'll think of something.
I'm in.
All right, great. Thank you for your time. And I will see you on the flip flop.
Thank you so much.